Good Novatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast, yet again, San Jose, California. So we are looking at the new announcement. This just released from Harley-Davidson, the new CVOs. Of course, we've seen a lot of leaks. I made a lot of predictions, and I was pretty much right about all of them. I didn't expect these to be monoshock, so that's why I never mentioned that. I was correct. The VVTs, of course, that's also something new. The 121, all of these leaks that I saw, they were true, and everything I predicted was pretty much, it was on the money. I don't know, you guys can let me know in the comments, did you guys really expect these to be monoshock, or were you hoping for them to be monoshock? It's a heavy bike, all right? So on top of the weight and all the announcements, everything 121, inverted forks on the front end, better lighting, of course, on both of the bikes, the Street Glide and the Road Glide. You guys can check out the new fairings. I believe the Street Glide is the better looking bike with this new fairing, but surprisingly, I did a community post. A lot of you guys actually liked the new Road Glide fairing, or the new shark nose fairing, so I'm not a fan of it. All right, I don't like it. Any other notable differences? Of course, we have a huge markup for the color option, $6,000. The price, surprisingly, is $43,000, but once you include all the fees from the manufacturer, not the dealership, you're looking at probably $48,000 with the surcharge. It's actually over $1,000 on this one. So yeah, so if you want the Raven metallic, that's an extra $6,000 on top of that. So this is closer to $50,000 once you get the color option. But I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this color? It's like a tangerine, not a big fan. It looks good, but I think the silver one looks a tad bit better. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm not a big fan of either of these colors. But we could see, just the overall bike CVO. It comes with like basically stage 1. This is Screaming Eagle. This should be Screaming Eagle pipe, stuff like that. You have that, I believe it's the burnt chrome or the smoke chrome. I think they call it a burnt chrome. I didn't really see the video, guys. So of course you have these good looking wheels. These are also CVOs. I don't believe they mentioned anything about the cooler, the oil cooler being a little bit improved. I mean, it looks massive compared to the current 117s or the STs and the specials, but it's a big jump. All right, it's a big jump, $43,000. What do you really get? Like I said, you get the 121. You also get inverted forks, and you're about 35 to 40 pounds lighter than the other touring models. And of course, you get the infotainment system. I believe it's a 12-inch. So, and another notable off the top of my head change is the riding modes. So you do have VVT. I believe it's going to be functioning. It's going to be functioning a little bit better, or a little bit improved over the Indian riding modes, because of course I believe those are just more of a grip of the throttle by wire sensitivity is probably altered on this one. However, you have VVT, so it's a mechanical change, and I'm pretty sure the grip or the throttle by wire is a little bit more sensitive in the sport mode. So you have touring mode, standard mode, and sport mode. And like I mentioned, if it handles anything like an Indian in sport mode, it's gonna be nuts. All right, let me tell you that. It's gonna be nuts in sport mode. I'm pretty sure of it. So it's just one of those great bikes overall. This is why I really wanted the riding modes, was because you could change the feel of the bike at a flip of the switch. I mean, this bike, like I said, if it feels anything like the Indian riding modes, it's going to feel completely different across all 3 modes. So you have your touring mode, that's more like your 2-up riding. That way you and your second rider or your passenger aren't bumping heads every stoplight, stuff like that, or every time you decide to get on the throttle, your passenger is not going to fall off the back of the bike. So, and of course, when you're riding by yourself and you want a little bit more performance, you don't really care for the miles per gallon, you just want to let it rip, you put it in sport mode, and you can have a blast. So this is why I really like the riding modes, because you could have two different bikes in one bike, or just the way it handles. All right, of course you have a lot of rider assists. and I'm pretty sure some of those are going to get toned down and riding mode, and you could really, you know, feel the full performance and that full feeling of having a, you know, having a bike instead of letting the computer ride for you, you know, control the bike. So let's go ahead and just look at, like I said, some of the notable differences. Of course, the design wise, a little bit different. You have the chopped saddlebags on the rear. You have a cool looking seat with, you know, plenty of wall right there, plenty of support to kind of hold you in place for this monster. You also have, like I said, the new shark nose fairing. I'm not a huge fan of it, but Zeitz was mentioning now you have a little bit more lighting for those night rides. Of course, I have an LP6 on my bike, and you know, it's a difference between night and day when it comes to Harley's Daymaker and an LP6. So I'm wondering if this is going to be as bright as an LP6 or an LP9, whatever you got. And yes, so we have signature LED lighting. Finally, they've made that change. A lot of their icons, and yeah, some of their higher end bikes, even $30,000, $40,000 still has the bulbs. So let's go on to the next one. You have a new design of the fuel tank. You know, not completely redesigned, but yes, a little bit different. And of course, you have that new emblem. 6-gallon tank on these touring models. You also have the Brembo brakes. Harley does use Brembo brakes, but yeah, now I guess they're branding it Brendo instead of putting the bar and shield on them. I believe the rear brake is also improved. I can't remember. I remember seeing the video. I believe it's an improved caliper. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Saddlebags redesigned, of course. You have that chopped on the rear. Somebody mentioned in one of my videos, like, does Harley really think everybody's going to be doing wheelies on these? You probably could in sport mode, you know. Paint and finish, of course. The finish on Harleys, the fit and finish are always great on these bikes. So I mean, I believe that's why you're paying the premium price, and $43,000, 45, 46, you know, plus, you know, the dealer fees and everything. You're looking at somewhere around $50,000 for these bikes. Keep in mind, if this is a limited amount, because we're still dealing with shortages. We're still dealing with a lot of different things, and you guys have seen that the fees on all of these across the board on all the models, everything's been increased. And then Zeitz, of course, he's been talking about how they need to keep on raising the prices on these bikes so they can be more profitable. So yes, we have that new display, 12.3 inch TFT display, infotainment system. That's massive. That is a massive display. No more analog, and of course the controls. You can check that out on both sides of the handlebars. So you have more controls to kind of, you know, so you could grab onto the bike, perform as it should, you know, be able to handle it without, you know, moving your hand off the off the controls. And of course, the Road Glide is known to kind of have the display a little bit further away from the rider. If you guys test riding any of these bikes, the shark nose fairing sits a little bit further away from you, and the batwing fairing, of course, sits closer to you. So you know, it's just one of those things. You're not reaching across you know, your bars. So yes, another OS. I guess that's a new operating software, Skyline, for this. You can see you have your speedo, you have your RPM, and I'm guessing you should have, here we go, there's the riding mode right there that you're in. That's sport mode, and it looks nice. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a nice display. But here we go. Here's the ride modes. You even have custom riding modes. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to disengage and turn off some of the ABS and some of the traction control, kind of like you could with the Pan America. Some of the Revolution Max bikes have the option to shut off some of the rider assists. I believe it's just the Pan America, but who knows? Maybe there might be an update. You'll probably be able to do it with the Sportster S. So as of right now, you have some custom riding modes. You might be able to, of course, tweak and change. And I believe you also have anti-lock braking, cornering traction control, delivery, power delivery. Yes, you have quite a bit. Like I said, you'll be able to change the feel of the bike at a flip of a switch. So this is very, very impressive. You know, just excited to see what's going to come next year. Typically, we see these features come in the toy models, and then the following year we might see the 121. Probably not the 121, but we might see the VVT, the riding modes on the Softail lineup. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I think I have like 2 years left on my Lowrider S to pay off, and maybe by then the VVT will be more refined, and I might be in the market for another bike. So overall, you guys know my overall thoughts on the new Shark Nose fairing. I'm not a fan of it. We'll see what happens. I would rather pay less and not have this fairing, but have, you know, the performance, the 121, and the saddlebags are pretty cool too as well. I like the overall look. Not a fan of the fairing or the headlight, but man, this is a good looking bike. You guys let me know in the comments, is this worth $42,000? Is this better than the Challenger? You know what? In my, being honestly, I don't think this is still. I don't think this could beat a Challenger, even with all the upgrades. I believe the Challenger has this beat, because not only is it, what is it? The Challenger's $36,000, 35,000 something. This is 42,000. The Challenger, you're still saving yourself $7,000, and you also have a liquid cooled V-twin. So if you really want the performance bagger, I think you have to go with the Challenger, because it also has better suspension on top of having probably. I think the performance is really close now that it's got a 121, but I believe the Challenger probably still has this bike beat, because it's 140 foot-pounds of torque. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe horsepower, the Challenger has 120 something. So it's really close. It's really close, but like I said, you're still going to save yourself a couple $1,000, $7,000, $8,000, depending on their surcharges and their fees. But I mean, you could save yourself potentially $10,000. Going with the Challenger, and on top of that, the Challenger has been around now for a few more years. That powertrain's, it's been tried and true now. I don't believe there's a lot of complaints about the powertrain from the Challenger, but you can't really go wrong with the Challenger. And like I said, they have better suspension. It's also adjustable. It's quite unique. So you guys let me know in the comments. I mean, does this still? Can this keep up with the Challenger? I don't really think so. But maybe I just got to get behind it, take it for a test ride, see what's up. Looking forward to it. I might be able to get one maybe next year, since my demo days has already gone through. Maybe we'll see what happens. But overall, you guys let me know in the comments. Is this worth the $43,000? And one more thing, as far as performance, you could throw a stage 2 in any of the Milwaukee 8s, and it'll probably handle as good as this CVO as far as performance. I believe a stage 2 aftermarket tune will get you to that performance that we saw here: 140 foot-pounds, 115 horsepower. Some of the stage 2s out there with the proper tune, you're looking at 130 torque, 135 torque with 120 horsepower. Really depends on which cam you put in, but man, $42,000, you could spend $2,000 on a stage 2, just kit and all. And then for the front end, you could probably, of course not including the labor, you could probably buy a Kraus setup. I think the Kraus setup might be better than this, and that's about $5,000 to $6,000 on that front end. And if you were to do it yourself, you're pretty much close to the 43. If you get an ST, was it 5,000? Yeah, you're getting close to the $40,000 mark. So it might be, it might be a good deal just to settle on the CVO if you want that performance Harley-Davidson. So, and on top of that, of course, you get the riding modes, you get the TFT display, and it's a CVO, so it's going to hold its value more or better than your own or your old touring bike. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Is this something worth trading up, or trading in your old bagger? So you guys stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.